5 beloved kid shows that were perverted behind the scenes. Okay, here's number 5 right off the bat. Batman's Burt Ward everything with his giant, according to Burt Ward.
According to Burt Ward.
Back in 1966, the Batman show starring Adam West and Burt Ward was a legitimate phenomenon. The campy, absurdist pop art masterpiece was a huge hit with kids who took it at face value as the unfiltered adventures of their favorite superheroes, and adults who praised the show for its deadpan silliness. The show was so huge that Adam West got to fly to Italy and meet the Pope while extremely hungover. That's another story for another time. For some reason, the show's 2 leads were especially popular with women, because there's apparently nothing sexier than a man in an ill-fitting bat costume and his cherubic adult sidekick. And Warbitz is no word.
But in the 60s, that looked cool, bro. Now it looks whack.
I'm just telling you, reading the article.
Who was
and
the
Warbitz,
first Catwoman?
Let me finish. And Warbitz is no words telling everyone and anyone about his green-shorted sexual escapades. According to Ward's autobiography, Boy Wonder, My Life in Tights, female humans couldn't wait to throw themselves at him and his co-star. As Ward put it, everyone wanted our bats in every orifice. Not to be pedants, but technically, only West can refer to his baby gravy as, quote, bats, unquote. As if to prove that this anecdote had plenty of room to get way creepier, Ward goes on to describe himself and his co-star as, quote, sexual vampires, unquote, who had, quote, superhero sex with young fans, unquote. The show's popularity fizzled, and it was canceled after 3 seasons, and West struggled with typecasting and drunken public appearances for years before eventually finding voiceover work on shows like Family Guy, when she played Mayor Adam West. Now, let me
just say one thing real quick. I like when Disco gets mad and he says, "Let me finish," as if he didn't finish, the story is going to change somehow, you know?
Okay.
Wait, this is breaking news. I don't know how Sleepy Joe didn't jump on this. Somebody just sent me this to my Twitter.
I think I got it.
It says, WWE sent out a release saying that Naomi and Banks handed the belt to John Laurinaitis and walked out.
Yeah, I was just looking for something, and I just left it open on the Observer. I was going to bring it up after you did, but it says...
Wow.
When Sasha Banks and Naomi arrived at the arena this afternoon, they were informed of their participation in the main event of tonight's Raw. During the broadcast, they walked into WWE Head of Talent Relations John Laurinaitis' office with their suitcases in hand, placed their titles on his desk, and walked out. They claimed they weren't respected enough even as tag champions, and even though they had 8 hours to rehearse and construct their match, they claimed they were uncomfortable in the ring with 2 of their opponents, even though they'd had matches with these individuals in the past with no consequence.
Who were their opponents?
It was like Becky and Asuka and some of their like veteran pros.
Friend?
So it was a 6-pack challenge: Banks, Naomi, Doudrop, Nikki Ash, Asuka, and Becky Lynch. And
maybe it's Doudrop and Spazzo. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Wow. It says that was from the Observer. PW Insider says Banks took issue with some of the creative tonight. Banks had a meeting with Vince McMahon, and when Vince did not change the plans, Banks wouldn't back down and left taping. Naomi left with her.
Well, she's always been kind of a problem,
dude. You know, she's probably like she's doing the Star Wars thing or whatever, isn't she? So she's probably like, I don't need this.
Like, she's always been very outspoken.
Yeah.
Well, whatever they get.
Whatever. Bye.
It's like, welcome Nikita Lyons.
Yeah. Oh, you know what's his name's gonna scoop her up? You know,
Tony.
I doubt very seriously Vince would let her go. He'd probably freeze her for a while. He's not gonna. I doubt he'd let Sasha go.
Would he put her in carbonite?
Oh, no. Come on.
God.
Get that kazoo out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Same with Naomi, though. I don't know that they let her go. They actually.
What's with the John Wasey gimmick, Durbin? And I know that's got to be you. And no, get my go fame. There's nothing famous about it.
All right,
dude, turn a light on in there.
Like the Illuminati.
He's getting set up.
Yeah, what's going on there? Who is that? Of Get My Go fame.
Who else would it be? A lot of famous guys in that group.
I saw some tattoos. I figured it was Mike.
Well, let's get Mike Durbin on because there's
Illuminati. I think that might be Professor X.
There's turmoil in women's wrestling tonight. We brought we have our Mike Durbin, who is our women's wrestling expert. Okay, Durbin, what's going on with Sasha Banks and Naomi?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Really?
Wow. Also, let me ask you this too. This is another thing. Doesn't Naomi date one of the Usos?
Yeah, I was gonna say
married.
the last
Married to him.
the last I read, one of the Usos was saying in interviews that Naomi was probably gonna get added to that stable, but now that she's walked out, I guess not.
Sounds like a work.
Mike, you're
It's-
supposed to be a broadcast
I'll be honest.
journalist.
Sounds like
What's
it
going on?
sounds like a work.
There is
Who broke the story?
the first thing I read was a WWE press release. So they put out a press release on it, but the Observer,
really?
the Observer and PW Insider reported it, and probably Fightful.
Interesting. All right.